try to salvage as much of that as I could. Always keep these little pieces to use for testing stuff. These will go in my junk journal. Okay, so one more. Hello, Bo. Let's do 3.5. These can be smaller. Yeah, 4.5. Can't make up my mind. What do you think these are? If you had to guess. Is this more interesting than that? Rorschach test? Not quite. Man, that turned out so cool right there. It might be more fun to play with. So Rorschach tests generally are made with ink and a piece of paper that's pressed together. This was made with ink, but I didn't press it on another piece of paper. So what I actually did was I made some ink, not ink, I made some slime. And I added a bunch of ink to the slime and some things to make it have a texture. And then I used the slime to make prints with ink in it. It was really a fun little experiment. I got quite a few good pieces out of it. I really like how this turned out, but even these aren't as cool as the ones that I ended up with. Some cool stuff. It was a really fun project. So what I'm doing is these are going to go in the books that I'm talking about making. So a junk journal is made from junk. And I don't mean junk like trash, but junk that, you know, maybe I'm not going to use this art for anything else, so I might as well. What edge do I want to keep? That one. So I'm not necessarily wanting to throw it away. It is useful, but maybe not in its current form. All my art journals are junk journals. So sometimes when I'm turning to a page to start working on art, I like to have something already there. So in my junk journals, for example, these are going to be for a giveaway. These could actually make really nice little ATCs too, but I've been making ATCs for days. So basically, yes, I'm destroying them, but I'm destroying them for a reason. So here's my junk journal. So this journal was made out of old art that maybe I'm not happy with, pieces of paper I found. It's made with, so there's some graph paper. This is from an old, I was doing a win, lose, or draw. This is from 16 years ago. I was doing win, lose, or draw on chat roulette. So basically anything I find while I'm digging for stuff goes in here. And then of course I go back and add pockets for stuff. I do a little bit of like embellishing on things. I will add, so like the book started with this, I just tossed that in there and thought maybe I'll do a Halloween thing sometime. But there's papers, different types of papers in it. For example, this is a piece of Bristol. And this was actually, so this is a piece of Bristol, but on the other side you can see that I've drawn on here, but also there was another drawing on here before that. So there's been two different types of art that's already was on this before it went in the book. And this is just a little sketch that I stuck in here. So the idea is it's a journal, but it's also an art journal, but more importantly, it's reusing a lot of stuff. I mean, of course, there's, like I said, there's new paper in here too, so don't think that it's just all junk, because that's not how it really works. Some people do make them with all junk, but what happens is you end up with a lot of stuff that's not archival in there, and then you have to worry about, making sure it doesn't tear the book apart. So you can make it, some people make them with junk mail, some people make them with envelopes and stuff. I actually will be adding some envelopes, but so yeah, you kind of get the idea. So like if there's, and so another thing that I love to do with my journal is, for example, I don't know how many blank pages, but say there's a blank page. If I'm doing some art and I happen to have something left over on my palette or left over on my brush or something, I'll just put it on a random page. That way, when I go to it and I want to work on it, like this page, there's some stuff on there already. And so that's kind of the idea behind these, is that when they go into the books that I'm going to be giving people, they already have kind of a prompt. You can do something transparent over this, and I can also give tips on like what people can do if they want to draw on it, or if they want to do some painting over it or doodling or something. So I mean, I have a bunch of different ideas that I utilize that I can show people how to do on their own. Like this is from a Gala thing I was working on. I think there's Gala art in my other book too. This is actually an envelope that I stuck in here. See, it's just got stickers in it, I think, or at least it did at one point. There's what else? Scrap pieces of paper. This is from a Gala thing I did, and then when I went back another time and I added the stencil, so kinda, yeah, just all kinds of stuff. When I'm testing out techniques, I do it in here. So there's 3 different sets of techniques in here. What else is in here? Place to put my tapes. I think one of the pages that I have in here. Oh, here's an old coloring page I never finished. So you get the idea. There's the other half of it. Little bag I found. So yes, it's junk, but it's also not junk, if that makes sense, because it is actually my journal. It's my journal, so and of course, everyone journals differently. People can art journal, they can junk journal, they can whatever, which is why these aren't just going to be a bunch of art prompts. They're also going to be regular paper in there, dotted paper, grid. I don't have line paper yet, but I actually might be able to put some in there. But what I have cut out for the book so far is this. So So I have all these types of paper. Now these ones on top I made yesterday. So I made these extra papers just to be kind of pretty papers that would just be in there. And they are mixed media papers. And if somebody wants to just write on them, or they want to pull it out and maybe make a flower out of it or something, there's so many things you can do with it. And then these are just lightly stained pages. And then grid paper. I put all those together. And then this is just white mixed media paper. And then this is black paper, and so I've got black drawing paper and gray drawing paper. And then I've got some random black and white papers from scrapbooking paper. And then this is just grid paper, which is what people usually use in like bullet journals and stuff. And then this is just some of that same paper, but plain. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put that in or not, but I've got some there. And then I've got some more decorative papers. And then these are just actually pieces from a magazine. And the idea with those is that they can just kind of be played with, like if somebody wants to do something specific. I have those there. Okay. Yeah, and they can just become, you know, shapes and concepts and stuff. So, and I mean, I've got a couple of those in mine too. So I'm also working on a few more handmade papers. So like this one, these ones are going to go in, and then the ones I'm working on now, so I just cut up these art pieces, and those are going to go in. Hopefully. So I made this paper earlier, and I was testing out the properties of this paper because I've never used it before for anything like this. This is actually a graphic design paper. It's made by Bifang. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's supposed to be cotton rag, and so I was kind of testing those properties because it is a drawing paper, but I was testing how well it soaked up the ink, which is quite well, and it took this paint. So I'm going to cut this up and add it. I think that a lot of people think that art is inaccessible, especially certain types of art. And one of the things that I like to tell people, you know, because everybody gets down about like their abilities. A lot of us set out to do things that don't work out, and having a junk journal it does two things. One, it gives you something to do with the art that you feel maybe wasn't successful. Now, obviously, I made this for the project, but not all of these as the whole piece or anything that I wanted to add to were successful as the ones that I ended up keeping. Just so you know, the ones I did end up keeping are quite a bit different because I've done ink on them. So let's see here. Oh, coloring book pages. Prints there. So these two are ones I ended up keeping. You can see I've done a bunch of sketching and drawing inside of these. So there's two things. So the reason I like junk journaling, even if I can make art on nice paper and I can do it, you know, nice or whatever, is one, you get to recycle art that maybe you aren't super happy with. And the other thing is, because it is so many different types of papers and so many different types of things, you can experiment with different media. And sometimes when you're really down about your art, like, experimenting with a different media might teach you that it's not necessarily, you know, that you're bad at that kind of art. You may just not have the technique yet, or there may be another technique you could learn from doing some other kind of artwork. That's what I tell people. You know, if something's not working, let's say you're oil painting and you just are not having any success, go do something else for a little while and then come back to it. Like, that's kind of how, like, all my best art has ever gone, as well as learning. Okay, so let me pull one of these. I'm just going to give it a quick chippy chomp. Chewy chomp. I'm being very, like, not measury because I'm an ass. So I actually have a folder called junk, and I keep stuff like this because this is like manna from heaven. Scrapbookers pay money for this shit. Like, you would think, like, if this was a sticker, somebody would pay me $3 for it. Like, some of those idiots. Sorry. Some of those nice old ladies. I'm just kidding. But I'm not. I'm also not kidding. You know what I mean? Have you seen art supplies? Like, it's crazy. It could be like fake lace that looks like paper, and oh, this is cool. So this is from the Queen Mary, and I don't think I'll include this in anyone else's journal, maybe, unless they're really interested in the Queen Mary, because this was something I did. So I don't know if it would make sense to have that be theirs. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I might add some art prints in with them too. These are already getting bigger than I expected, than I planned. I've got these as well. Okay, so I got another 2 of those. This is the same kind of paper, and it's cotton rag, which is awesome. Because you can do stuff like this to it. So I hope that is not anywhere near a straight line. Belinda. And these don't really even have to be the size of the page. All the pages don't have to be the same size. I don't know why I keep making them that way. Habit, I guess. So that's another handmade paper. I was gonna put some sketches in here. I have some Zen Doodle sketches that I did a long time ago, and I was thinking about adding them in here, but then I thought, well, I can do something like this and then it'll be even across the whole page, and then people can do their own Zen Doodles. Do you know what that is? Zen Doodles. It's like another old lady thing. Oh yeah. So like and the thing is, I do save everything, unless I know for sure. Like, every once in a while I'll go through all of it and be like, okay, this is actually trash. But the reason I keep everything is just because, like, I didn't really like how this painting turned out, but, you know, for example, there are some quite, you know, interesting, for me anyway, or for my, you know, for what I think is okay, there were interesting parts of it, and I think those interesting parts can be used some other way, so I can give these to the people that that do the, you know, that do this kind of art. You know, they can have something to work with or play with or keep or whatever, and it's just a little piece of original art, you know. It's just a little piece of something. And I love it when artists send me shit like that. That's one of my favorite things. Is I buy paintings from artists all the time. In fact, I gotta open one. Where is it? I buy paintings a lot from artists, and I love it when they send me like little things like this. Like, this is a print, but she sent me like another little painting thing, and it's like, it's just a piece. It's just a piece of a painting. And like, if I was art journaling, I could put this in my journal, you know, I could stick it somewhere. And then I would have a whole, you know, a whole page dedicated to this artist that I love, that I bought some stuff from, you know. If I had, like, she sent me a sticker, and she sent me a little art print and another art print. And this is exactly the kind of thing I was talking about. It's just some paint on paper. And like, there's something about that that's like way more personal to me than, you know, even the art, because I bought the art off of her when I knew what it looked like, you know. And so I like the idea of really, you know, giving them a little bit of my actual art. You know, that's perfectly fine. Stupid fucking... Fine. I bought a bunch of these and I don't like them. There's one nice thing about it is they've got that like really fuzzy, soft like cover. But the problem is, like, these were $17. And they're fucking spiral bound and they bend, and maybe that's good for what they want it for, but I thought they would be harder covers. Anyway, this is the art I haven't opened yet. That reminds me, I got something to send to Great Britain. Fuck. I am so bad about sending art. Do not buy art from me. I'm so bad about sending it. Well, I don't leave the house. So this is one of my favorite artists, and I was talking the other day about how I love all these artists. They crack me up though. What? Sweet. Because there's all these like old lady artists that are all around the same age. They're all around my age. And their paintings, like every time one of them like tries a new color combo, they all end up doing it. And I don't know if they are aware of like how much influence they have on each other, but I swear to God, it's hilarious. But this, I love this. This is all, it got bent up. It's okay. But yeah, last week was, oh, come on. Anyway, apparently last week was orange and blue. So all the artists that were on Instagram that I follow had orange and blue. Oh, this is on canvas. Canvas paper? Interesting. Smells nice. But yeah, I like to do shapes and stuff every once in a while, but let's see what this says. It'll be like, Belinda, thank you for following me. Thanks for your money, even though I didn't need it. Yep. $20% off. Handwritten. I guess I'll have to remember this. Anyway, this artist's name is Susanna Frank, and she's on Instagram. These are shiny, shinier than I would expected. I think it's San Art. I remember that. Otherwise, I have so many envelopes around here, I'll never find it. So yeah, I've bought a few paintings in the last few days. Every time I sell a painting, I buy a painting from another artist. I need to get them all framed though. This is not an acid-free mat, so I'm going to take the mat off of it. She didn't hinge it or anything, so it's not like she framed it up professionally. The mat's bent, and you know, artists really need help with that kind of stuff. A lot of them don't know how to do that stuff, which I understand. I wouldn't have known how to do it if I wasn't a framer. Okay. Nobody's got time to learn how to frame when they're spreading their paint around. All right. just gonna fold up that. Who is this? Who is this guy? Brookie. Find similar. No, just you. Brookie makes what? Okay. That was interesting. I'm Scrappy Doo. What? Because of the music? Oh, because of Brookie? Brookie? No, I was talking about it's the name of the music. Anyway, I have a bunch of stuff I've kept for this kind of stuff. I do actually have professional bookbinding stuff. I haven't done that in a really long time because it's kind of a pain in the fucking ass. This is pretty and I want to keep it for myself. I'm a bad person. And now, see, now I can make a journal entry about how I made junk journals for other people, and I can use the scraps of the journal. See, I can do that right now. I don't even like my junk journal anymore. I gotta change it. Like, I can use these scraps for that. Whoop. Designer tape, guys. I'm telling you. Old ladies eat this shit up. I'm not kidding. Original scrapbook creator. I actually have never done scrapbooking. That's the best part about all of this, is that this is like a very much a scrapbooking hobby. But also, see, so here's the thing. Art journaling isn't a scrapbooking hobby necessarily. Like, actual art journaling is just something that people do. But then scrapbooking is something that like a completely different set of people, like a different type of people do. It's like the difference between 5-minute crafts and, you know, do you guys watch YouTube? Do you know 5-minute crafts? So like, it's like the difference between, you know, stupid Instagram crap that you can make with sticks and like a guy who is a professional wood carver, you know? I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but it's a completely different like system. And so this is kind of a weird mix between the two worlds, because you do get people like me who are, you know, who would do just like traditional art journaling, but then you get people who do scrapbooking and they have scraps of stuff, and then that is kind of how junk journaling becomes its thing. But mine is kind of a hybrid, some kind of hybrid. Oh my gosh, do you know why I like this? It reminds me of handwriting paper when we were kids, but not exactly. Yeah, it's a bridge. It's a bridge between like fine art and craft, which is why it's funny, because it's considered outsider art. Scrapbooking, like anything that has anything to do with scrapbooking is considered like outsider art, because it's not like, you know, it's not a fine art, and it's not a taught art that you would learn in like college or whatever. And so, for example, here's something interesting. So, you might not find this interesting, but I do. So, in 1997, there was an artist in Sweden who came up with the idea of something called artist trading cards. And If you've been in here before, then you know what I'm talking about, because I make these. But of course 1997 was like right when we all started getting like hardcore internet. T1s became a thing, and like, so this project was started in 1997 as a concept where artists would make artist trading cards, and they would trade them with other artists. And you would have books, just like trading cards, you would have books full of art from other artists. Now, if you can imagine, like, yeah, this doesn't seem like a big deal, but imagine your favorite artist, and imagine you can have a card from your favorite artist, all because you made a card to trade with them. I mean, think about how amazing that would be. What if you could have a fucking Salvador Dali card? Now, like, so it seems goofy, but at the same time, like, it's really not. So the point was, you traded for these. You did not buy them. And then, like I said, 1997, internet hit. Right after this became a big thing, artists started selling on LiveJournal more. They started selling on DeviantArt. That's about the time DeviantArt came around, was 1998. But what ended up happening was a bunch of artists started deciding to sell these cards, and instead of calling them ATCs, they call them ACEOs, and you can look them up now. They still are. Again, artists still do this, but what happened was, because artists were selling their cards, other artists just stopped making them, because the artists only wanted to sell them. They didn't want to trade anymore. So if I tried to trade with another artist, it'd be like, I'd trade you for an ATC, and they'd be like, no, I only sell ACEOs. So nobody was people were still making them, but they were selling them, so they weren't trading them, so they lost their intended purpose, right? So you get the scrapbooking scene so that's 20 years ago, right? So 2017 is 20 years from then. I want to say about 2013, the scrapbooking people, somebody said that they were still doing artist trading cards, because in some other countries they're still doing it, but somebody in the scrapbooking community was like, let's do this thing and they called it Happy Mail. And a Happy Mail, or whatever, I think it's called something like that, involves taking one of those sheets of like trading card things and filling it up with different types of like tapes and little papers, kind of like what I'm doing with the junk journal, except you would just like make a page and send it to a person, and then they would send you one. But in the middle of it, they were making artist trading cards, and those were going in there. And so the scrapbooking community became like this kind of unwitting resurgence of artist trading cards, because I started doing them, and I found a bunch of different artists that do them. And it's so funny because I look for them all over. I always look for them on Instagram, because it's something that I'm really interested in. I like the concept of that, you know. I think it's amazing that you could just have somebody's art, you know, just for trading it. I don't know. Maybe I'm silly. So yeah, so that was, and I mean, I've done other things like that where I've given away art, or I've hidden art in places, you know, where people can find it, which I thought was a really fun experiment. And but yeah, like that. So I thought it was really cool that the scrapbookers are doing it. And yes, they're doing it in a completely different way. Yeah, they're scribbling sometimes, and they're putting stamps on stuff, and they're not really, they're like, you know, mixed media or whatever, but like they are at least doing it, you know, and at least they are participating in the spirit of what that is. What's okay though? So anyway, the person that created artist trading cards, like that was 1997, because I started making them in 1998, and then after the whole thing where people were selling them, I'm one of the artists that stopped making them. So I just thought it was such a cool concept. Okay, so this is like a very lot of stuff. So I'm thinking 3 books. And unfortunately, like, one is going to have to be the odd man out with the weird papers on every other one. It's okay. I'm gonna start trying to assemble my signatures. Give them a little bit less to work with so it's not so crazy. That one already has the one different one, so let's put that there. There. And so I'm doing a little bit of designing when I'm doing this. So yeah, this is my night off. So some of what I'm doing is trying to put colors together on opposite pages that I think will still go together. Like for example, this has a bunch of gray in it, and this is the one that has gray in it. And I only didn't mention this because I was not really thinking about it and doing it automatically, because that's just how I am. But see how like the dark kind of goes with the darker red. So in case they wanted to just use that for something else, they can put things together. Here's a piece, 2 pieces of paper. Can we do 2? 1, 2. Okay, good. 2. 1, 2, 3. Now this will be different because I've only got 2 of these, so we'll do that. Let me get the black one. Got a piece of that. I got enough to make myself a mini one. I might have been a little bit intentional, I think. Okay, so, oh man, it turned out so cool. I did a faux tea staining, so people who make books, hey, after. Yeah, I think it's just really cool. Like, I wish that, honestly, I wish some of my favorite artists made artist trading cards. Like, I'd rather, instead of them doing giveaways and stickers and shit, that they had artist trading cards. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put these together in different signatures. I'm gonna try to put this flimsier papers in differently. So I've got 3 books here, basically. I'm gonna clip and dip these 2. Ow. This is nice and sturdy, so maybe that will be the outside of a signature. This is pretty sturdy too, so that can be the outside of one. For sure, sure. So some of these are going to go in and some of them are going to go out. that 5, 4. Probably should have counted how many pages I have. That might be nice. Okay, so that's 4. This is going to be less. 4. This is going to be too many. 3, 4, 5. And 5 is fine, except... can be... I guess it's fine. I haven't decided how I'm gonna bind these yet. I'm thinking about being real lazy about it, even though I put handmade papers in here. There's something wrong with that part of my brain. Like, there's a part of my brain that just lets me work and work and work, and then there's a part of my brain that's like, be lazy. Be my lazy victim. And that is the part of me, and it doesn't usually win, but sometimes you just get lazy. And you want to use the stapler. That's all I'm saying. There's always one. I'll spend like 60 hours on a painting and then be like, I'm lazy, I don't want to send it. And it takes 5 minutes to package something. That is a good sized little book. Now, I know Belinda, and Belinda wants to add more stuff. Can't add too much. Gotta put some pockets in here. A little bit of stenciling and stamping. That will be so pretty. So let me pull the clamp out. You missed it 3 to go. They got to see me cut up some of my art. Alright, so there is one. Okay. So I will do at least one of these things the same, and that is to put bottom, back, bottom, front. Bottom, front. I would be so stoked if I got that. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I don't, the problem is I don't actually get lazy. Like, I do all the work. I just don't want to. I just whine about it to myself. That's the problem. Okay, so here, you can go that way. You can go over there. With your gray friend, you can go there. that there, and these two. Okay, but that way. Why did I cut it? I'm going to be adding it to these little journals. So I cut up little pieces of art. I'm going to put them in here for funsies. That's also, like I said, if there's some artwork that I make a mistake on, like maybe not even a mistake that would make me, you know, make the art completely worthless or anything, but, you know, just maybe I wasn't just 100% happy with it or something. I'll keep it and use parts of it. Other things. Plus, a lot of these papers are expensive, so it's not like I want to just throw them away because I drew on them wrong. All right, one more. You want me to get your big brother, or can you handle it? job, kids. All right, what do I want to do next? Let me grab my art journal. What? That's what I thought. Clean that up later. Every time I see these, I always go, I want to be like, ooh, because I'm 12. Have you ever seen like these in the store and there's like a line of them? Ooh. Oh, this? Yeah, this is a paper that's in there. I like it too. That's why I added it. Man, fucking Bristol. I gave you the good glue and everything. I didn't have to do that. Fine, I'll put the glue on you instead. How you like that? Is that better? Yeah? Is that okay? Okay, thank you. And you guys can make fun of me for talking to my fucking art supplies, but I gotta talk to somebody. Also, it calms me down when I have anxiety and things aren't going right. Not that I'm having too many problems right now. I kind of want to just keep using it on this page. Because it's like, this page was an old piece of art that turned into a junk journal. Now it's got guts of the new art journal on it. See, art is war. My old art journal is claiming the new art journal and wearing its skin. I'm gonna start telling people that when they ask me what my art is about. I'll be like, well, you see, this book murdered my other book. Actually, it's quite brutal. Oh, it's even black and white. See? More. Wonderful. Wonderful. This music is something else, man. Thank you, Epidemic Sound for bringing me this high energy fucking heart attack. I guess that's an asthma attack, but you know. You thought it wasn't gonna be you. It wasn't gonna be you. It's time for Silk Wang. And my favorite and also least favorite supply, which is this glue. It's really, really good because it's really, really sticky. But that is also the reason I hate it. Oh, I got some on me. God damn it. Every time. Every goddamn time. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. See you. See you sneaking. I don't use paste a lot. I have this stuff called Yes Paste that I prefer to the I know this drum beat. I used it on one of my songs for fucking loop vibe songs. Okay, let's do this. Massage it. Poke the other side in the eyes. Use the bone folder. Oh, you thought I didn't have more? Have more. Where is the... There. I like writing stuff down and then covering it up. It's one of my favorite things to do in journals. Because the art is for everybody, but the entry might just be for me. Hey, Vitku. How are you? So far, I haven't added anything from the dead to this that wasn't black and white. Let's see if I can keep it black and white. Ooh. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is, because I don't trust any of it, is it's going to get a coat of matte gel. Normally I wouldn't care, but I know that this page in the bottom is Bristol and it will just turn to dog shit if I don't do this. So we don't want that, right? As far as I know, it's not on the plan, even though it would be really way cooler if I could just get the paper wet. It's not going to happen though, so I know better. Let's grab thankfully. Do that. I want this to lay pretty flat, so I'm going to be doing some adjusting. Let's see what makes it. Actually, I don't need to do that. I have a better idea. Stretch. Ooh, this is an in page. At the beginning of my signature. That's actually pretty good. That's good. This is not pulling against anything else. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, Belinda. Talk to yourself. For 15 years. Ooh, it has lyrics. All right. You calm down. Okay. Putting it on way heavier than I would like it on there, only so that I can start it out on there and then get it smoothed out with water afterward. I mean, technically it can take all of this weight, but I don't really want to use that much of it. I just want to get it on there so that it gets up and around the bits. Like that. So it acts like a little bit like Mod Podge. Kind of holds everything in. What's he saying? Baby, I can tell what he's saying. What you got against single women is what it sounded like, but I don't think that's what he said. I bet all the lyrics are available for all these songs because they are like, because I'm paying for them, and like people probably need to know all the lyrics so they don't offend people since these are for commercial use or whatever. Yeah, there it goes. Crunching up. I tried to get it as quickly as I could. Yes, you can have some too. It's fine. Shh, don't tell anybody. Probably needed it anyway. Excess. So thick. Just need a light coat, you guys. This is ridiculous. So I was originally gonna just mix some of that up and use it, and I decided not to, and I should have just mixed it up with water. But I really didn't want to get some of the areas too wet, which happened anyway. Not as much. I wasn't too worried about it, but a little bit of it's happened. It's cold. The thing I was trying to avoid happened anyway. Basically. One moment. So one of the reasons that I use, it's hot air. I had it. So when it works, when I turn that on, I turn off my microphone. That's why I said BRB or see you in a minute or whatever. So the cool thing about medium is that heat will, I mean, it'll dry it, but also I can reactivate it a little bit if I use a gloss gel medium, but sometimes the matte gel will do it too. So I was trying to heat it up and reactivate it in areas where it was kind of pulling off a little bit. So now the page is mostly coated. I did have some areas up here, and of course these are the areas that got wet, that, you know, kind of just decided to do their own thing. Here, let's do this real quick. Let's see if this helps. Rather than pushing it one direction or another, just trying to get it to stay back together. Yeah, so I have a program that makes it so that you can still hear my music. I run the music through that whenever I'm on stream, so you can still hear the music, but not my microphone, because I turned my mic off. You aren't hearing my music through my mic, you're hearing it through Elgato. So that's just going to help that a little bit. Put that there. Another piece there. This can be another little job for one of my babies here. Might be able to fix that. I don't know why I'm worrying about it, but it just bothers me. Even though this is a junk journal page. For this page, I want to grab one of my, I made these little paper clips out of 3D plastic, like the kind you can do the 3D pen. So I definitely want to add one of those to this, or something, either using it on the side or adding it to it. Let's see. I have some more of them. What is this music? Ooh, I found a moon. Fucking chipmunk voices. A moon sticker. Come on. Alright, hold on. This music is giving me a brain hemorrhage. I can't. Can I block this person? Please? Is there a button to like never hear this again? Who's this person? 12. Block. Block them forever from life. I can't block them. Dang. No, I want to block. I never want to hear that person again. Whoever that is. Like, I never want to hear their music again. I don't even want to hear something from their imagination. Like, if they had something to say, I don't even want to hear that. That's how much that music upset me. Traumatized. Okay, so come on, Clear Jessa, where are you? Why am I always misplacing this? Alright, fine, I'll just put some more gel on it, I guess. I was looking for the gesso. Putting it on the sticker does two things. One, it helps hold it down around the edges. Two, it makes it easy so that I can mark over it the next part. I know I've got another one of these. Pretty sure I have a brand new one of these, actually. And you know what? I think my sister stole it. Which one is which? Is this the good one? Yes. Put some of my art evolutions in here from this year. Better. Good night, Three to Go. What a cute song. It's called A Heart Made of Pixels. Adding all of these to my playlist. This is the kind of music I like. Oh, Wave Saver, interesting. Yes, fake synth. So good. closer. Saw that coming. All right, good to know. Good to know. Only use you to flush it out. Do what I want. Let's put some of these down here, I guess. If we're gonna be that way about it. Where is it? must be exceptionally lucky tonight because it's the first time this pen has written on anything. Oh, you're fine. What kind of music do you like to sing? Singing? One of these years I'll do some more. So I used to do, not necessarily tutorials, but kind of like I'm doing now, but in high speed, and then I would just talk about what's going on with me. So they're like vlogs, basically. I haven't done one in a really long time, but I recently got Premiere again, so I'm thinking about doing them again. And that's probably the only reason I'm streaming on here right now instead of on Reddit, because I actually get a lot of people interacting with me on Reddit when I stream there. But I don't mind it being quiet sometimes. This is kind of a relaxing process. I don't know if you heard what I was doing earlier, but basically I'm making some of these for a gala. I'm doing an art gala, and it's a fundraiser. So this is going to be 3 different books, and they're going to be like this, and they're made up of various types of papers that I've kind of created the designs on. They're made of scraps of art that I had, and so like I did that design, and then this is an art piece, part of an art piece I had that was a print. And so there's all kinds of stuff in each one of them, just like my book. And so the idea is that someone will win one of these, and when they get it, I kind of want to show them what I can do with some of this, what you can do with some of the stuff. Of course, I'm just using it as an art journal entry, and the pieces that I added to it were all pieces that I cut up to use in this other book. So it was, you know, this piece, these 3 pieces were from that. These are just some papers. These are the papers I designed. And then on this book already was an old drawing that I already had going on. So that's kind of how this works, though. It's the junk journal. It's like the whole thing about the junk journal is that, you know, it's this process of kind of creating different art from what you already have, just kind of using your imagination and coming up with a little plan or an idea. And sometimes it, you know, sometimes it can have meaning, and sometimes it doesn't have to. It can just be whatever. Some of mine are totally goofy. This one is kind of, I made it a little bit serious, but it's kind of like the one book has conquered its brother, and it's like wearing its flesh. It doesn't have to be that way, though. It could just be, you know, like a sharing. could be sharing. Sharing. Could be, you know, just marks the day that I made it. Some new ones. That's all. But, some of them do have a theme, and, you know, I go through them. So no, when I start putting stuff down, I'm usually just kind of putting stuff down, and, you know, when I cut these out, I thought, well, maybe I'll make these into some shapes, and I just started cutting edges off of them, and then I decided to make them into crystals, and I just kind of tore the pieces and stuck them around. I was trying to stick with black and white, but no, it doesn't start to kind of come into focus until I've been playing around with it for a little while, and I decided to add these little mushrooms because this is a new thing I've been doing in some of my other style of art the past year. I've been doing these little mushrooms, so. Because some of the other art I've been doing was more like this past year. Kind of more graphic, and like this is one of the book covers that I did. So that's where the little mushroom guys come from. Over that, after we've drawn on it, will that look okay? Now this I'll have to be careful with because it will run. I don't know if you've seen any of my singing streams, but I do sing sometimes on here. Yeah, but I used to be in a bunch of bands, and I can't really perform in bands anymore, so I do singing streams sometimes. There we go. What's that? Let's get in there. Most of the music that I had to sing in bands wasn't necessarily music I liked, though. Are you the person that makes the Slender Man hangings and hang? No. That would be fun, though. I would do that. Actually, that's a lot of... It seems like it would be a lot of work on your hands. Do I remind you of that person? Does my art seem like that? Just a little bit of sticking up there. Man, this little guy is fun. It's not fun catching on that fucking coating, though, let me tell you what. It's a felony. The reason I don't sing in bands anymore is because my back is really bad. It's hard for me to get up and be standing for a very long time. Repeating some of the patterns that are in the little papers that I added. One of those can be black and one of those can be white. For funsies. It's fun. I mean, I still sing, I just don't do shows. And every once in a while, like, they'll ask me if I can do a fill-in, and I'll do one. But the problem is that I can't walk for like a few days afterwards, so it just becomes an issue. Being in a band around here kind of blows because everybody's not, like, people just aren't like me at all, so it's hard to deal with that. I may go soon to go get some food. I had a little bit of food earlier, but... This is Brown. Go away, Brown. How much do I hate myself? Let's find out. I'm gonna swap some of my other tapes out for my tapes that I actually use. That's weird. Okay, anyway. Time to switch out my tapes, I guess. I haven't done this in a while. So let's take that one. The rest of my tapes are actually not even around here. That one can stay. These can go on. So those are some of my little tapes. I've got all the rest of them are in a huge box. This song is very busy. Yeah, it happens. From time to time. You know how it is. The server just kind of shits itself or whatever. That arpeggiator is so cute. There, I think it works now. Did that fix it? Another problem. It's like goodbye, hello, goodbye, hello. We can skip that one with the whatever stupid voices, whatever is going on there. This reminds me of Tron. I like to sing rock. If you look at my profile, there's a bunch of music that I like on there. I like to sing rock. I like to sing I sing a lot of 80s music. I don't know, it just depends on my mood, really. Yeah. Okay, now what? Let's bring back part of the old piece. But in a different way. Sure would have been nice to find my clear gesso. Yeah, when I want to sing, I use Cara Fun usually. Have a pro account with them. Sometimes I host karaoke when I go places, or a whatever account subscription. Yeah, I get that. I'm in a Facebook group where people like to sing karaoke. I try not to get on there too much though, because there's always like some kind of crazy old lady drama. Like, they get mad at each other for wearing clothes that are too skimpy and being drunk or whatever. I don't think I have any of that style in here in this book. For this line art. In fact, I should do some artist trading cards for this style. And this really shifts it. I like it. I like it a lot better. Yeah, the program that I pulled my music in through was called Elgato. And I'm using a Yeti mic, but I have another one. My mic that I sing with is a AKG. So this is a really matte paint, which means if I want to just kind of like do some lines with it, it should dry pretty matte. This is a much better ink than the one that I used for the depth was. I think that was India ink. I think this is also India ink, but it's, hold on. Yeah, this is the P.H. Martin's Super Matte or whatever. Black Star, I think is what it's called. It's cutting right through that pastel. Serious drones in this song. Pretty much all it is, I think. Not that I mind that kind of thing every once in a while. Oh yeah, that's not gonna do anything because it's washi tape. Can't draw on washi tape. Let's see if this will do its thing. Try this out. Now I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna get dirty. I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna try it anyway. Give me some fucking... Oh god, the brush, I forgot how hard these are. Give me the ink, please. Give me some paint. There it goes. Get into the fibers, please. The mixer software that I use is OBS. It's what everyone uses to stream, pretty much. And Elgato Sound is what I use to pull it. And then I do it with, I just do an offset when I sing to make sure it's right. OBS is an open platform streaming. So, yeah. Open broadcaster software or something. System. It'll connect to your account too, if you use Facebook. Alright, here we go. Finally give me some paint. Maybe. Oh, it's so dry. Like, needs just some water in there. What's the point of having that tip if I can't utilize it in a way that works? Bruh. Yeah, if you just look for OBS, it'll be like the first thing that comes up. It's pretty much what everyone uses. I mean, there are programs that you can use that will probably work for that, but it's easy. It's supported across a lot of platforms, and it's free. There's a bunch of if you like that kind of thing, there's a bunch of like backgrounds and stuff you can download for it too, to have cute little, have your face in one thing and a song in the next or whatever. Little backgrounds, and can't think of what they're called, scenes or themes. There's all that kind of stuff. Remember that chalk pastel is there, and I gotta work around it. Probably wasn't the best use of material. That. I really like to take things and push them back and forward. It's like my favorite thing to do. So let me take some of this matte fluid acrylic white paint. It's a lot of words. And I'm going to wet it. I'm going to blend that into this pastel. And just this part can become matte, whatever happens there. It's blending with the pastel, which has lifted up the some of the ink, which turns it gray. Once that dries, though, it will be all fixed. What do you think of the process so far? And that will be the opposite. That will be dark, 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 dark. Some water. Let's do that first. Let that dry. Of course it's that tone. Why would it be a tone I needed? Guess I'll be doing it twice. Yeah, how I do these always just kind of depends on my mood. And sometimes what I'm listening to. All around, I see you under my skin. Gonna have to adjust that color. Good job, Belinda. Using the wrong thing. Gotta fix that with black. I tried to use a watercolor, and unfortunately that watercolor does not have carbon in it. It has two dyes in it that are not watercolor, which means it's not black. Which doesn't matter to most people. It doesn't really matter that much, but that's why it turned green. Hey, Evil Deed, how are you? Thanks for that follow. It's up tonight. Phew. Let's fix that coloring. And then I'll reblend, I guess. It's still going to be a little green, but it won't be as green as it was. Just chilling. Just making some art in my art journal, and after I did some cut up stuff for junk journaling. This is just some leftovers. Alright, let's do this now here. I do like how that stops there at the top of that. It's nice. My day was okay. Yeah, sometimes I'm done. Absolutely. Usually there's a feeling I get when I'm sure it's done. I don't have that feeling yet. But yeah, tonight was my night off, so normally I'd be working right now. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a shitty thing to say. I mean, some people... I mean, yes, it sounds cool in theory, but that's not giving credit to all the people that, totally thought they were finished with their art. Especially if it's, if it looks done. Especially for, like, realism and stuff. It's, like, very obvious when there's a stopping point. Otherwise, you never get... There would never be any finished art. There are definitely pieces that there's just a feeling, and I'm happy with them, and then they're done. That's it. And then also, I have a thing where sometimes if I'm working on something and, I don't really like it, sometimes I'll leave it alone and then come back to it when I'm kind of feeling like I think it's going to look better if I work on it then. Which is actually one of the reasons for this book. Not only do I put stuff in here that I don't think is finished, I don't... Yeah, I mean, maybe I've come across pieces in the past that I've sold or thought were done that I could probably put more into, especially now that I've learned more, but I don't like that. It's kind of like when they're done, because they're like my babies and they gotta grow up and, get out of the house. If that makes sense. Something like that. Happy little trees. You can say that. liner that I just had. You. Get it together, man. Sometimes. Do I like 90s or 80s? I like 90s. Hold on a second. Let me switch it to, let me turn off YouTube. Sorry, ladies. I'll play some music that I like.